Hey everybody, today is December 8th, 2023. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And you're hanging with Uncle.
How's it going, man?
Good, man. It's been an interesting week
It has
again.
been, yeah. I wasn't on call this week, so I'm not as stressed as I was last week.
Yeah.
If I seemed stressed, because being on call was no fun. But
The nerd in me
yeah,
this week, there was a lot of interesting news, motions, rulings.
absolutely. Game
You know,
awards
from
happened.
the one from the Cadet Bone Spurs trials.
Those things too.
Those,
happened.
man. So there's a lot of games being played. I sense a theme here.
Yeah.
But it's just been very interesting. And if you like the law and are interested in the law and not picking a side, it's very educational. It's very interesting. Doesn't matter whose name's involved with what's going on.
Right.
It's good to pay attention to.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. But first, make sure you hit that like button.
And subscribe. We're really trying to grow our channel.
Absolutely. We want more people to come and hang out, honestly, and talk. We honestly want you guys to interact with us as well. So say anything in the chat, say what's up, anything, we'll say hello.
Yes.
Or we'll try to, because we just start going sometimes, you know?
Yes. And hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live and put new content out there.
Absolutely. And hit the subscribe button, please.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, no begging. We don't do that here. But we do have a few things to talk about playing games. Don't play yourself.
Pay yourself.
Pay yourself. I like that little spin there. I just brought that off the top of the rocker there. But, yeah, don't forget to pay yourself because there's a little PSA announcement from Zane here. Many people invested in... there was a video game that was coming out, $40, and people believed it was going to be the next generational game, a massively old multiplayer online game in a torn down city filled with zombies like I Am Legend. It's going to be great. Based off of resources, we get to survive together, and this team put out a wonderful clip of their game, but it looked like it was kind of like a rendered video. People got skeptical, and then they started putting out delay after delay after delay after delay for everything. Their beta test, their new trailer that they were planning on doing, their new, we're going to come and talk about this thing, and people were still pre-ordering the game for $40 and paying them. Now, 5 years down the road, the game came out the other day, and it's now, most likely, it has had the most historic mark of the worst release in a video game possible. The game is not rendered in any way that they came out with the video 5 years ago with. Where did all the money go? Nobody knows, but a lot of people are saying it came or went to packs that were already pre-made, and people were able to go and purchase to make their own game. So they went and purchased sub pieces, whatever, and put quickly a game together and gave it to you for $40. Make sure you pay yourself, and don't play yourself with your money.
Exactly.
I like that. Thank
Yeah.
you, Ice Cube. Right? Oh, anyways, moving on. We also have more gaming news. There was the Game Awards that happened. A lot of little things that they had iconic things going on. They also had performances and such. You can check it out on YouTube. It is there for free. But also, the game who won the Game Awards was Baldur's Gate. Congratulations, Baldur's Gate. Yay. Gene is also playing Baldur's Gate. Girlfriend put 72 hours into the game in 1.5 weeks. I mean, it's a good game.
Baldur's Gate's a game I was playing with my kids when we were growing up. We spent hours just having fun, interacting, learning how to work with each other. You know, it was fun trying to stay alive, but learning what character does what, how you help the team
What they're
achieve the
proficient
goal.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I really do like Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it's really cool. Games based on chance too, but their abilities make the chance more in your favor, of course. Like, you just gotta build your character based off of those things. But it did get some scrutiny from winning. A lot of people were wanting Spider-Man 2 to win. If they like pushing square and X while cinematic is going on the screen, then they want to call that a game, then yeah, I would love to have that game win. But they also came back saying it's just a roll of the dice in Baldur's Gate, which I could say, yes, that is the case, but dice are also in Yahtzee, Monopoly, and I can continue. Anyways, Baldur's Gate did win, and rightfully so. Other bonuses, I believe one of their actors won for best performance, and also I think her name is Iron Mouse, was one of the content creators of the year. She won. She did not expect herself to, but she's one of those new VTuber people I've been talking about. How people have been being unanimous out there on stream, but being an animated character. So props to her for winning as well, which is great. Go check out the show. It's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I have some games I want to talk about.
Your games. Let's go.
So, college football.
Yeah. I don't know much about college sports.
All I can say is when you play in a major Division I conference and go undefeated, you have earned the right to play for a chance to win the national title.
Yeah, I could agree.
Right?
Absolutely.
But the top 4 teams, Michigan, who is undefeated at 13-0.
I see, correct.
Washington, go Huskies. It's been a while. I'm glad to see the Huskies back in there.
They're playing well, I've heard. They're playing very well.
Texas and Alabama, who are both 12-1.
Interesting.
Now, the first week of the season, Texas beat Alabama. Right? So I can understand why Texas would be ranked above Alabama. But number 5, you have Florida State, who's undefeated at 13-0 and plays in the Atlantic Coastal Conference. So every year, Florida State plays Florida, which is a non-conference game. But they also play Miami, the U. They also get Clemson. They get both Carolina schools, Wake Forest, Boston College, Pitt. I mean, they play legitimate schools. Virginia Tech. All ACC schools go undefeated and not make the national title championship bowl series.
So wait, they didn't play any of these teams because Texas played Alabama and beat them, and I believe Texas lost to Oklahoma, correct. I looked it up earlier. Spoiler alert, but I don't know much. Again, I'm sorry, but that's kind of weird that a team that has a better record is 5th.
And not only
they were 4th prior.
The week prior they were 4-1.
Why would they lose a position
and dropped to a team that has 1 loss? Honestly, because and this is just one reason why I hate the SEC, because they're supposed to be the gods of college football, and I say fuck that. Florida State got snubbed. They went undefeated. Alabama had a loss. They do not deserve to be in the national title game.
No, that's exactly what I would agree with that.
But they got to have an SEC school in there in order to make it credible. Otherwise, it's not legitimate if there's not an SEC school in there.
Yeah, that doesn't. That's why I don't follow college sports, because there's politics involved in it, massively.
Right. I mean,
there's politics involved in college.
Nick Saban is a good coach. He's won lots of titles, but this year you don't deserve to be in the national title
especially
race.
When Florida State is performing better than your team.
Yeah,
correct. Like, they haven't lost. It looks like they did play top 10 teams too. I saw
Louisville was a ranked team. They beat them. Clemson was a ranked team.
I was going to say
they beat
Clemson.
them.
Yeah, I saw that on
They play Georgia Tech every year.
So it's like, why did they? I'm hopping off of where you were at with why they lose a position when they lost? Won. Is there like a point system? Like if they didn't score enough points.
Again, to me, it's a good old boy system. It's what can we do to bend over backwards to help an SEC school?
Brent says, "Go blue." Throw that out
right?
There.
That's who I'm pulling
blue.
for.
Yeah.
Go Wolverines. Jim Harbaugh would love to see him get a title.
That'd be awesome. Go blue. He said, honestly, yeah. My Sean is from Michigan, born and raised. So I mean, I always support Michigan as well.
Yeah,
so
I'm glad to see they beat Ohio State and are now they deserve to be where they are. But I'm sorry. Texas beat Alabama. They deserve to be in there. Or you could even make the case. What about Texas over Georgia? Because they both will just have 1 loss themselves.
If I were to rearrange it, it would be Florida would be number 3, Texas would be 4 because they beat Alabama, and Alabama would be 5.
Yeah,
That's how it would be.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I would think it would go. But again, politics, we love it.
Right. What games are you playing with us, guys? I mean, it's just, we're not dumb. It's not right. I don't know how you can justify that and smile and go on national title knowing that you fucked over a bunch of kids who work their ass off. These are kids.
Absolutely.
You know?
That have a future, that are playing for their future, and want to be on those national stages. They try to play. That's what they play for overall. They put their heart and soul into.
But, you know, so yeah, it just pisses me off. Again, I have no skin in the game. I don't have any bets. I'm not making any money. You know, I'm not going to win, lose, draw anything over this. But I'm sorry, man. It's just bullshit to do that. It really doesn't.
I don't watch college sports, like I said, but I do watch the NBA. I watch the NFL. I watch even the LCS. I watch League of Legends, Counter-Strike, golf. Like, how they place and rank people internationally, like, even in placements, it would be based off of record.
You know,
just like that. And then even if it comes to tiebreakers,
there's
it'll
a
be
point
tiebreakers.
system. Even in NASCAR, you get so many points if you do this per race.
You're in a position. I even know that. It's like,
you know,
it's so, just I don't understand that either.
It's really weird. They should call it the bias college conference, man, because you know, all things being equal, Florida State should be playing.
I don't see how that's equal
and not Alabama.
Oh, I do not agree to that.
So yeah, you know, I honestly, I'm with you. Go blue.
Go blue. Absolutely.
So that's just my thoughts. Yeah, the SEC is not the king of college football, in my opinion.
I try to understand what conferences, like the Pac-12 now, yeah, not 10. But there's 14 teams.
But there's 14 teams.
And it's like, what is the SEC? Like, how does that work out? But, like, Florida team, like, one team could be in Florida and the other one team could be in Florida, but they're in different conferences. It's like, is it the amount of money that they earn? Because that also kind of makes it political. Like,
I want to say Florida has 5 D1 schools. You got Florida, Florida State, Miami, Central Florida, and Southern Florida. And then I think Jacksonville State, a historically black college, they have so much football in Florida. Everyone talks about Texas being the football state.
Which in my opinion, seems like biased.
They don't have anything on Florida football, man.
Florida State is down to a third-string quarterback. That's why they got knocked down. I don't think the SEC stranglehold on the CFP. It's a popularity contest. Honestly, I could agree with you about that.
That's, you know, so in my opinion, okay, like anything else, it's a team sport.
Right.
If my third-string quarterback's in there, he made the damn team. He better be able to step in there and play the role.
So even though, how I think about it, they're still technically professionals in their game, but young professionals, right? So he should be able to be plug and play, ready to go with their offense like any other quarterback that they have in their system.
Like, it, you know, if you have a good system, that's exactly how it should go.
It's exactly how
Otherwise,
it should go.
he doesn't deserve to be on the team.
I mean, I just feel like, again, Brent is correct. It's a popularity contest. It's like, okay, that's the excuse to put Texas up there in Alabama. I feel that. Yeah, we'll do that. It's better.
But here, so
for
again,
ratings, right?
Now, I used to coach football.
Yeah.
And anyone that knows football, and from a coaching standpoint, think about it like this. Okay, that third-string quarterback was probably playing as your scouting opponent. So, like, say, for example, Florida State's playing Florida, right? That third-string quarterback is running Florida's offense for Florida State's defense so they know how to work. And he's got to be able to do it efficiently.
Yeah.
So that's how good those guys are.
Yeah, they practice against each other. Like I'm saying, if you have a poor system, then it wouldn't work. It should work. I mean, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't doubt if they win their game.
I still think Florida State should be in the national title game.
I couldn't agree more, honestly.
Right.
I couldn't agree more.
Anyway, that's just our opinion. Thanks for chiming in, Brent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love our man on the street.
If you want to chime in, let us know. Yeah, he's in the helicopter. He's going. He's out there looking for news. More games.
Oh my goodness.
We got a lot.
This one hurts.
Yeah. So, California, San Francisco. I talked about it 2 weeks ago. We talked about the homeless issue. If you want to go back and go watch the other episode when we recapped on that a little bit more, you more than likely can. It's there. That's why we leave the VODs on there for you.
Yep.
But we are going to do a little recap on that. They are having a homeless drug use issue. And right now there is a weird stance in the streets that is not being supported because there's a lot of politics and games going on in it.
So, but just
Yep.
because I know where you're going.
Yep.
People ask me all the time, well, Gene, don't you think Gavin Newsom should run for president? Hell no.
Not after what I'm about to bring
You
up.
know?
I've complained about him before, but this is the second. This is strike 2 on Zane's book here for Mr. Gavin Newsom because, one, they are having a drug use issue on the streets as well, correct. They do have these centers where they are able to go get clean paraphernalia for their use, and now they don't have a place to go use it.
What do they call harmful centers?
Let me see.
Harmless centers? Or?
Yeah, I think it's the harmless centers is what they call them. And what they do is they basically harm reduction facilities. Harm reduction facilities. They give clean paraphernalia.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's okay. Again, we're just talking. Go check your sources. But they give clean paraphernalia, right, for for the users, for people who need it, so they don't obtain HIV, bloodborne pathogens, stuff like that, right? Which is bad, right? So that is the premise of it. There is the counter argument to it that they are encouraging the use out in the streets, which I could say is is true if they didn't have the option to also help those who want to go get clean. Their act is not to go and tell them that what they're doing is wrong and everything like that, and to shame and make them feel less of life like they already feel, which is where they are and the point that they are to begin with, correct? They're meant to go and help them stay healthy and safe. And they did have a place for safety for it, but Mr. Gavin Newsom, thank you, ended up abolishing that by vetoing a bill that the Senate was passing through.
So, just to put it on the same perspective, so you can think, oh my God, we're supporting drug use. No, that's going to happen anyway. Providing a safe place for people to do that. Now it's in a controlled facility, a controlled environment.
Medical staff on standby, so there's jobs available.
Right. I mean, so look at how people normally OD on heroin, they choke, right? So if you have people in there working the facility that can hear and recognize the sound of somebody choking and roll them on their side, you've prevented a death. You've maintained that safe place for that person to go, right? So
absolutely. That facility alone saved 326 lives in a year.
Just that one facility.
That one facility.
So I look at it like abortion. All right?
Which is touchy.
So if a woman wants an abortion for whatever reason, she's going to find a way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Would you rather her go in the back alley and risk her health, or would you rather go to a
doctor
facility where she has the proper treatment to get what she wants? They're going to do what they're going to do. You can't stop it. So stop trying to.
People go to the dentist in Mexico because it's cheaper. They're going to do it because they're going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is. But now, since they don't have that safe place to go, which they did go to, interviews on the streets, through YouTube and everything like that. I looked at the information, tried to get as much as I can and ingest it. But most of the people who found interviews on the streets of San Francisco alone noticed that, one, it's that with the drug use on the streets, they don't have a safe place to go. That's why there's such a coagulation of people that are using it out in the open. They don't have a safe place to go. Two, the governor. Right, governor's Gavin Newsom. What's the next one right below?
Lieutenant governor.
There's a lady. What's her name? She passed a law in San Francisco. Who's the head of the city?
The mayor.
The mayor. Yes. I believe so.
I forget her name, but
I'm looking it up. It's something. I forget it too. But she passed a law to where now theft and also drug use is not necessarily a felony. People aren't going to being thrown into jails because of these things. So the streets are running rampant with theft and drug use in San Francisco alone, where they had these solutions for things for these people to go to.
I got to push back a little bit on that.
Okay.
So, having worked as a police officer in California,
Gotcha.
the state penal code defines what a misdemeanor theft is and what a felony theft is. Mm-hmm. And the mayor does not have the authority to change the state's penal code.
It was whoever has the authority was able to change the amount of which they're able to charge the
Now,
people for.
that may be under a city ordinance, but it's all based on dollar value, whether a theft is a felony or a misdemeanor, according to the California Penal Code.
And that's what they're basing it off of, is dollar value. So if a person were to go and steal from Gucci, were to go steal from Pink, and then Hot Topic, whatever, they take $200 from each. They take $500 from each, right? And the max charge is $900.50, whatever, like that, for them to be labeled as a felony theft. It actually is categorized for each individual store instead.
Each individual store has its own separate incident.
They'll have a citation instead for that. So they'll get a ticket. Here you go.
Because those would be misdemeanors. Right.
So they changed the number of value of what they can steal. So that's why people are rampantly stealing in San Francisco now, too. But with also drug use, people are needing money to get their drugs. So it's just a whole big cycle.
Yeah.
But
I did see something on that. Like, was it like CVS or Walgreens was a big one. People just walk in, take stuff, and walk out.
and walk out. That's it. They just walk in, walk out, and steal things. And because it's just a misdemeanor, if they take them to jail, then yeah, cool. I get a roof over my head for a few days, and that's it. I get released again.
I'm sorry for chewing gum. I had went and got Filiberto's for dinner, and
He offered.
Right.
But
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to choke out my co-host.
again, San Francisco is a mess. But with the drug use, we want to hop back to that because that's the main point in the game we wanted to go back to.
Yeah.
With these politics and games and things that we're playing and taking away from people, we have to understand what we're trying to do and what the main purpose is, and that this is a humane case to take on it, is that these people are going through a mental illness.
Yeah.
You are taking away resources for these people who have mental illnesses where they had a wonderful resource that saved lives for a year.
And we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, taking a humanitarian approach, and now you've taken that avenue away. So what's left now? To just shame people?
And now cops aren't even arresting people anymore. They're just watching shit happen on the streets because there's no point. They just get released the next day and they have to go and catch them again. So they really just sit there and watch them do open air fentanyl.
That's
and all
what you call taking advantage of the system.
Well, the system is playing games right now with the people of San Francisco, and that's why it's a game category today.
And the thing is, what they don't realize, or maybe they do realize it, loss prevention, all they're going to do is say, we lost this much. We're going to make up for that loss by, guess what? Raising prices for people like you and me who do pay for our stuff. So, I mean,
it's even gone to a point to where with theft, things are going up in price. And also the drug use, things are also going up in price because of the type of value that they bring. Because they have side street, like, sales that are going on for like Tide Pods and such for like $1.
Yeah.
Where it's hurting the companies that are next door that are inflating their prices. And then on top of that, with the maximum amount of drug use that's happening and the fentanyl increase, the cost of Narcan is going up when it should actually be free. But it now is about like $110 to obtain a can of Narcan. It's expensive.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, no, I don't care. Again, as far as I'm concerned, I don't look at age. I don't, think age is a disqualifier for someone to hold public office. It's age discrimination. It's what do you do? And honestly, right now, with what President Biden has done for the country, especially supporting union workers and helping to end that strike, I would rather have him in office than somebody like Gavin Newsom, who removes those safe havens for people to be themselves and not be a drag on society at the same time.
Right, exactly that. Like, you got to take that humanitarian approach. And right now, it's in a weird cycle that they are doing it the healthy way, sure, I guess, but now it's literally in your streets because you took away the one place or the places that you were supposed to give them to go and do for safety and housing away from them. Again, 326 lives were saved because of that one facility.
Think about it. I mean, let's just say that there's 20 people in the facility at one time, and now that place is not available anymore. Where are those 20 people in your community going to go, Gavin Newsom?
Exactly that. Another chime in from Brent. Gavin Newsom needs to supply housing, not just needles. Why doesn't he supply needles out in the desert of California? San Francisco is one of the richest towns in America. The schism is dangerous. Honestly, yeah. I mean, if you were able to construct a area for them to go and live, even just like an old apartment building, they have a bunch of old office buildings that Google and all those other IT companies used to have that they only have one floor of that they could use as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other places they can, like, not saying that they're uglying the streets, but put these people to where it's safer for them, but it's safer for others too. It's affecting the economy of San Francisco, and then it's not doing what we wanted as people. We voted for safe places for people to go, so they are not there out in the open at bus stops for kids, where they're able to get this stuff taken care of, right?
Right.
And have medical people on staff. It increases jobs, and then they again play these games and go against what we voted for. Gavin Newsom is not a good presidential candidate.
I do not like him. Honestly, in my opinion, and just Gene's opinion, and I know we got to get to our dumbass because we're starting to run long. Yeah. I like Governor Shapiro out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Who's been able to sign legislation, get things passed for the people of Pennsylvania. Excuse me, with a divided House. I believe the Senate is run by Democrats and the House is controlled by Republicans. And things in Pennsylvania run smoothly. You don't hear anything negative other than the auto workers strike.
I wanted to throw a little quote out there today. Kevin McCarthy said today, when you look at the Democrats, they actually look like America. When I look at my party, we look like the most restrictive country club in America.
I think that's a good transition to our dumbass of the week, man.
You want to go first?
I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but my dumbass is our current Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Alrighty.
Who,
hey, is this his first? Yeah, this is his first.
This is his first dumbass. Yeah.
First title. Congratulations.
Number one, January 6, 2021.
Oh, boy.
That was
an insurrection.
2 years ago.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if I'm law enforcement, say the Department of Justice, the FBI, the Attorney General, what do you think is going to be one of the first things I do?
Take care and arrest the people that were committing the insurrection?
Exactly. And one of the tools I would use to do that would be to get the video recordings of everything that happened in the Capitol. And they did that. That's why there have been so many arrests made and people identified that were in the Capitol. But misogynistic, racist, homophobic Mike Johnson.
Jesus.
And he was an insurrection. He was one of the architects of sending the thing back to the legislatures. So now he voted to not certify the electoral count. That's who our Speaker of the House is.
Holy.
That's who's second in line from the presidency right now.
Ooh.
And his dumbass said out loud that before he releases any tapes, he wants to make sure he blurs the faces of the insurrectionists because he does not want them prosecuted by the Department of Justice. He wants the people to go free that try to stop, Congress from doing its job on January 6th of certifying a free and fair election
Yep.
and contributing to the free and peaceful transfer of power between administrations. Fuck you, Mike Johnson. You're a dumbass. You're not going to stop anybody from doing anything. The relevant parties have all the information already. And
there's plenty of humans in America that I know that have the footage unblurred, uncensored, unredacted.
But thank you. Thank you for letting us know where you stand, who you support, you fucking Klan hood-wearing son of a bitch. Fuck you, you dumbass.
I don't have much to say on that one. I think you put the icing on the cake there. Yes. Dumbass guarantee right there. We'll put a seal of approval on that one. He gets a little extra bonus star.
Yeah.
Today. My turn. If you go to Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, the place that loves everyone, you might not want to be hateful because you will be outed by people you are being hateful towards in the happiest place on earth, especially in a public bathroom when you're saying, gross, there are Mexicans in here. Isn't that wonderful? Now, I follow a wonderful guy on TikTok. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. He kind of just like goes and talks about these people who have weird stances on life and think that they're in the right when everybody else, the majority, think they are in the wrong. But this lady decided to yell that, great, there are Mexicans in here when a woman is speaking Spanish with her young child. Now, the young child does understand English, and also the mother. The mother literally whipped out the phone and started grilling her. It's wonderful content. If you can find it, check it out. I'm not throwing any links out there. You'll be able to find it. But later on, people found out who she was and what she said and told her it wasn't nice. And can't stop people from telling you that it's not nice. And especially when the captions on your Instagrams and on your TikTok say a happy heart in an ugly world. Because a lot of the ugly comes from you, it seems.
Right.
Because you're a dumbass for even saying something like that at Disneyland. Because like I said earlier, when you're standing in the rides, at like the line of the rides, right? It's explaining the rules of the ride, keep your hands inside and all that. What language immediately hops right behind English?
Spanish.
Thank you, Gene. Pies y piernas, right? I can hear it in my brain. She must have a terrible time at Disneyland, her happiest place on earth, if she really hates Spanish-speaking people.
Man, so, I mean, I grew up in Inglewood, California. I've been to Disneyland more times than I can count.
It's
a small world is so many different languages. Yeah, get over yourself already,
right?
Dumbass.
You are at the happiest place on earth. And you're obviously not the happiest person because, sorry, I had to creep on it. She did delete her social media afterwards. Anyway, she found out the world is cruel. She was the smiling person in a cruel world, I guess.
Yeah, she is the cruelty in the world.
I want to throw a little shout out to Brent. Thank you, man, for being a part of the show. Always, we love it when you chime in, man. And I do want to say the last thing that you said earlier. He said he hates that it's drawing negative onto the homeless. Homeless people aren't all drug addicts. Looking at San Francisco in the media, people might think homeless people are the dangers when they're just broke and also mentally ill. We have to remember they are not balanced. We have to take care of these people. Most of them are veterans.
We talked about that. I mean, just like I said, I remember when I was in Frisco, that one stretch of road for about 2 miles, car to car, bumper to bumper, both sides of the street of working homeless people.
Yep. Anyways, we don't want to drawing it too long.
Yeah.
I'm Zane.
I'm Gene.
You guys have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget to pay yourself. Don't play yourself, please.
Right. And also be kind to one another. Treat each other the way you want to be treated.
Amen. See you soon.
Have a good weekend, everybody.